What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. This is a recap. For anybody joining, this is a recap of Blueface and Chrisean and Blueface, Crazy in Love, Season 1, Episode 4. So if you're looking for the actual episode, this is not it. A lot of times y'all come here thinking this is the actual episode. It's not. We do recaps, reviews, hot topics, that kind of stuff over here. So if you're here for that, come on in. Welcome to the squad. I'm glad to have you here. If you're not here for that, stay anyway. Join the conversation. Join us. We're going to get down into the nitty gritty. I like to call it the after show. This is the after show where we break down the episode. We talk about some things that we saw, okay? So it's been a few weeks since the show has aired. With the Christmas and New Year's, Zeus really didn't give us any new episodes. So we're back with episode 4. Be looking out for Baddies West. It's coming this month. We will be doing reviews and recaps each and every Sunday on that as well. But in the meantime, episode 4, Blueface and Chrisean, Crazy in Love. This wasn't a bad episode. However, it could have been better. I'm going to probably give it a 5. You know, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't. We'll get into some things. I got some notes about it, some things that we saw. But the show picks up from 2 weeks ago, of course, when we last seen where Chrisean was in Oklahoma. She was there for a court case. She had some legal things to take care of. We saw her with her stylist. We saw her meet with her attorney. Y'all remember that. And then the next day, her and her stylist fly back to LA. And she's already in the car talking to her stylist about drama between her and Blue. Of course. There's never any happy moments with them that we really see. It's always the fighting, the cheating, the fuck you, the this, the that. So this episode's really no different. Now, she's talking to her stylist and she says that Blue's doing every little thing that he can to get her attention. Same shit, different episode. Now, in the car, when they leave the airport, she tells her stylist that she's going to the club tonight and she's looking for a young, fine dude. She needs to go to the club and find somebody who can distract her. And she hopes she can find her husband tonight. And I'm like, girl, now you know, if you've seen Blue on camera doing this, because this is all airing now. And I'm sure when he sees this, he gets pissed. But you know, if you've seen him doing that on camera, you would be ready to blow right now. Like, I don't know. I guess they, with them arguing, she was just trying to do whatever to try to get his attention. And that in turn was saying, let me go out here and try to find a guy tonight. So toxic. Like, what kind of relationships are these? What kind of fucking relationships are these? Now, her friend DJ Sky picks her up. They head to the club. She's talking about that she's upset that Blueface is in Vegas and he wasn't home when she got home. And my whole thing is like, Chrisean, you understand the man that you're dating is an entertainer. He's not going to be the average guy who works at the post office who's able to be home every night when you get home. That's not how it works. And you know that. You know that. Yeah, he's in Vegas. Is he at a club promotion? Is he performing at a club? Is he at a concert? You know, does he have an appearance? What is going on? Is he just at the club because he wants to, because you think he wants to party and fuck bitches behind your back because that's what you're used to, and you're used to being done that way. Like, I'm not saying Blueface is not in Vegas cheating on her, but at the same time, like, you can't expect him to always be there for you at home when you want him to be. Now, Chrisean calls him and asks why he's out at the club with a bitch with braids. She said she's been sent videos of him in the club with other females. Again, here's another thing. This is what I'm talking about. This is, man, he's an entertainer. He's a rapper. He's going to have females around him in the club. What do you expect him to do? Be in the club with a bunch of dudes surrounding him and sitting on his lap? No, this comes with the territory. Now, unless the female was holding his hand, had her arms around him, kissing him, sitting in her lap, I could see being upset about that. But just because you get a video of him next to a girl with braids in the club or walking next to a girl with braids in the club, does that mean he's cheating on you? I don't know. Y'all let me know. What do y'all think about that in the comments? Do y'all feel like Rock is overreacting when it comes to Blueface being in Vegas? Or does she have a valid point? Do y'all think he's up to no good? And that based off of her getting these videos, that's considered cheating? I don't know. It just isn't to me. Now, I did like when they left Her and DJ Sky are in the SUV headed to the club, and they pull up to the club, and Chrisean realized that the club was closing, and the young girl came up to the window and was like, "Oh my God, Chrisean, is that you? I'm drunk. Oh my God, I'm so drunk, but I love you." I did think it was sweet, and it showed me a different side of Chrisean, that at least she treats her fans decently, because there's nothing worse than these people, especially these new age reality stars who think that they are just better than whatever and they're hot shit, when in reality you've been on one or two shows. Like Chrisean, you can tell regardless of the spotlight and getting the newfound fame that she's got, she's still sweet to her fans, and it's still humbling for her, because she was really sweet to the girl who came up to the window, and it's refreshing to see, I guess. So after the club, we see it's the next day, and it says production shows up 30 minutes after Blueface and Chrisean have an altercation. And I'm like, okay, maybe they've gotten into an argument and we're about to see the aftermath of this argument. That's what I'm thinking is what's going on at first, but no. I'm sadly mistaken and shocked, because we see that they've been in fist fighting in an all-out brawl. Of course, we don't see any footage of that, but we see that Blueface has a gash in the back of his head. Chrisean has got bruises, a black eye. She's got blood all down her hand, and just sitting in the car like nothing. She's not trying to clean herself up. She's just, I guess this is like literally right after the fight, being 30 minutes, and the adrenaline's probably still pumping, and she's trying to calm down. I don't know. But I mean, my first reaction is like, what the fuck? It was very disturbing, because you don't really see stuff like this on TV, I guess. It was very, unless it's scripted, but like real life shit, it's disturbing. And it can be triggering for people to see these kind of things. I know some of you in the comments have said before that you're not watching the show because it is too triggering. Now, Chrisean is in the car. They're outside. Blueface is, he's got the door open, telling her she needs to come in. You're a bitch. You're a weak bitch. He's calling her names and stuff like that. Says she's acting like a bitch, and you don't want to get out of the car and face it. You don't want to face the things that you've done. The verbal and the mental, emotional, physical abuse of it all. Like, I mean, the way he was talking to her, and Chrisean is no angel. I'm not saying she has no faults in this. I'm sure they're both just as damn guilty. But the way he was speaking to her, if you've ever been in a domestic situation, or if you've ever been a child and your parents have been in those domestic situations you've experienced, you like, this is exactly what it was. The way he was talking to her, and they both got bruises all over them as they're talking to one another. Blue tells her, "You can kiss a female and it's nothing, but when I kiss a female, it's a problem." And I mean, that's the thing. Like, if she's out here kissing females and your man doesn't want you to, you are disrespecting him. But at the same time, most men wouldn't care if their girl kissed a female, especially if it's on some drunk shit and they just playing. Most men wouldn't care. Now, there's some that are, and you have to respect that. If that's the way your man is, that's the way your man is. But Blue tells her, one of the other things that I noticed that he said that I was like, is he was like, as he was kind of belittling her and talking down to her, he was like, "You're the star." Like, come on now, get out the car. You're the star here. Like, almost like it's intimidating to him that she has the star quality that she has being with him. I think he assumed that when they became a couple, that she was not going to blow up the way she did, and she was just going to be known as Blueface's girlfriend. And it went the opposite way. She's got the star power now. People know who she is. And I just don't think it sets well with him sometimes. And that he probably has some jealousy and resentment down here. It's almost like when, like, on Housewives, when these housewives who have these rich husbands, and they get on TV and the housewives get rich and famous, and the men don't like it, and the women and the husband, they ultimately end up divorcing. Men can't see that. They like a lot of these men, especially dominant men, they like to see their women almost below them or beneath them. No, your role is at home. Your role is to make a child for me. Your role is to take care of that child. And so it's evident that there's some envy there. The Blue is inside. He's back inside the house while Chrisean's outside in the car. And he's talking to his cousin that's there. And he says, you know, she needs to be a female. And he said this outside to Chrisean too, I noticed. She needs to be a female. He's not trying to be with a man. If I'm going to be with a man, we could just fight all day long. And he keeps saying this. Did y'all notice that throughout the episode? He kept saying that over and over. If you want to be a man, you want to be a man so bad, you want to test my balls, we can go nut to nut all day. I was like, what? What? And then Chrisean comes in and he says, so you still think you got a dick between your legs? I mean, I get his argument in a way. Like, he's trying to say, you want to fight all the time like you're a dude. You want to hit me and put yourself in a man's position like you're a dude. But you just pushing that narrative too much, bro. You keep, like, when Chrisean came in and he said, do you still think you got a dick between your legs? I would have said, do you want me to have a dick between my legs? Because you keep on saying it. And another thing I thought of, giving him the benefit of the doubt in that situation, maybe, like I said, he wants a woman that he can talk down to. He wants a woman that will fall in line. He wants a feminine woman who's not always fighting, who's not got her front tooth knocked out. You know, Chrisean is like a guy and a girl in one. I could see why he says you want to be a man in a way, because she does have dude qualities. Like, she'll whoop your ass. She don't care if her eyelash is hanging. She don't care if she's barefoot. Hell, she walked around this whole episode with dry blood on her fucking hand. So they sitting here talking, looking at one another with bruises on each other's face. Zeus continues to capture it all. And my thing is, like, is anybody, I bet you money that nobody from Zeus production stepped in. Nobody stepped in and saying, hey, let's get y'all some help. Hey, what about some therapy? What about some counseling? Hey, we can't keep filming this if it's going to go this far to where there's going to be physical altercations and we come on the set and y'all are bleeding with gashes in your head, bruises on your face, and black eyes. Like, because it almost seems like I just wouldn't feel morally, I would not feel morally, ethically right going into someone's home after they just got their ass whooped and filming them. So, you at home watching, take a shot every time Blueface says, do you want to be a man? Do you want to have a dick and balls between your legs? Take a shot every time he says that. I guarantee you, you will not be able to drive. Now, they go from about killing one another. They go from being at each other's necks and beating each other's ass to Chrisean mending the wounds on the back of his head. Because he's got a big gash in the back of his head where I don't know if she threw something at his head. I don't know what happened, but the dude has definitely got a big cut here. As well as she has her own marks too. I would be embarrassed, though, to be real. If I'm being real with y'all, I would be embarrassed if my boyfriend and I had just gotten into a huge fight and he's done whooped my ass and I've got bruises and I done put a gash in his head, and then you got a whole camera crew showing up to film it. I would be embarrassed. Like, not only just as Zeus, but as Chrisean and Blueface, I would be like, fuck, like, we're gonna look fucking crazy on TV. You know that, right? We're gonna look fucking crazy. Now, she ends up taking Blueface to the hospital, I guess, to attempt to get stitches in the back of his head. And I noticed, even in the car on the way to the hospital, Chrisean has still got this dried blood on her hands. I'm like, girl, like, if you ain't gonna wash them, throw some hand sanitizer or something on that. That is disgusting. You riding around like this, you ain't got in the shower, you ain't washed your hands off, and then you go into the hospital the same way. Like, you go into a hospital with blood still on your hands. It was just unsanitary and disgusting. I was just like, come on, baby girl, you gotta get cleaner than that. You gotta do more than that. Like, I respect Chrisean being Chrisean and not being the glam girl, if that's just not who she is. But you can be just clean and decent, you know? That's basic. That's just basic standards. Like, I don't get it. Now, back at their house, Blueface's uncle slash manager, they call him Whack 100. He FaceTimes him and says, yo, I'm going to pull up on you for a minute. I need to talk to you. He says, okay. And the uncle pulls up, brings him outside, and he says, you know, what's going on? I saw on TMZ that you were in the hospital. He was like, you know, you've lost out. He said, we're $2 million in the hole because you lost out on $2 million from all this shit going on with you and Chrisean in the media. You know, every time I turn on my phone or I look on something or a blog, there you are. And it's hurting your career. And he says, look, we've got music coming out and I don't need, and you don't need Chrisean distracting you. You've got kids to look after. He says, we have 5 cases. We've got 2 to go and we've done beat 3. So Blueface has been into 5 legal court cases that he's dealing with. He's beat 3 and he's got 2 to go. Like, what in the hell is this boy doing? He stays in some shit. I don't get it when these people have everything that they want at their fingertips. You've got the home, you've got the car, you've got the girl, you've got the career, and you choose to go out and act a fucking fool and get in trouble. I mean, now, his uncle is telling the truth, his manager or whatever. But at the same time, I feel like there's, and we're going to get into this in a minute, I also feel like there's some underlying jealousy when it comes to Chrisean. We'll get into that in a second, but I do feel like his uncle is giving him tough love and telling him the truth when it comes to their relationship, that look, you need to chill out. You and homegirl need to chill out, because he says that this is affecting Blueface's career, but is that the case? Or is Blueface music just not slapping like they want it to slap? We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. So, the manager says, the uncle says, pull up to the studio tonight. We got some work to do. We got to make some music. Don't bring Chrisean with you. I want you to be by yourself so we can work solo. Okay, cool. He says that's fine, whatever. Oh, one thing I noticed, did y'all notice how their house is painted blue camouflage? I like that. I really like that. And I feel like it's different. It's cool. Like, you know, Chris Brown's got his house painted similar. Like, they spray paint their homes. Or it may be regular paint. But I know Chris Brown's looks like spray paint. But this house, like, it was just painted blue camouflage. And another thing I noticed is, like, it's a California thing. I don't think I've really seen it anywhere else. But a lot of homes in California, they paint them, you know, different prints, crazy prints. They'll paint characters on the sides of them. And it looks cool. I think it looks creative and different. Just a little random though. But so Blueface ends up going to the studio. And what happens? What does he do? He brings Chrisean along. Either he brings her along or Chrisean just shows up and just follows. I don't know. But nevertheless, we all know the uncle just said, please don't bring Chrisean with you so we can work solo and get some shit done, right? Unc shows up. Unc walks in. Manager walks in. He's like, yo, what's going on? Now, not only does he have Chrisean there, he's got 3 or 4 homies with him. So he's got his entourage there. They smoking. They drinking. They got food ordered. They got the food there. Everybody's chilling. They having a good time. It ain't a studio session. It's a motherfucking party. And Uncle's not having it. He's pissed. He automatically starts going in, and he almost takes it out on Chrisean in a way, which I thought was fucked up at first, because Chrisean probably doesn't know that you told him, look, don't bring girl to the studio. And Blueface, that was your place to say, look, I need to go to the studio tonight with my manager, my uncle, whatever, and do some work. I just need you to stay at home tonight. You know what I'm saying? You should have done that, because now you got her showing up. And now the uncle's pissed. And I felt like the way he was talking to her was out of whack. It was fucked up. And it was out of left field, in my opinion. He says that Blue having a woman, he tells Chrisean this, Blue having a girlfriend takes him away from his career. And he also says that him having a woman, the uncle pretty much insinuates and says that it'll be better pretty much for him to be single in his image, because girls are going to want him more. Girls are going to flock after him more or play his music more if he's single. If he's not in a relationship with Chrisean, is pretty much what he was saying. And Chrisean says, I'm getting money. Listen, everybody's contributing over here. I'm not just some girlfriend who's living up off him, who's partying. I'm getting money and I'm making my money too. And she is, she's doing Baddies South. She's doing Baddies West. She's got these club appearances that she shows up to. So she's making her money too. It's not like she's laying around on him. Um, but yeah, the uncle, he's coming in on 10. He's being disrespectful. And I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, you need to pull her aside and talk to her. If this is how you going to try to come in and embarrass her in front of everybody, pull her to the side and talk to her like a woman. You know what I'm saying? And which he ends up doing. He ends up taking her outside, talking to her, about business and how he's working with Blue and how he's trying to, take his career to the next level. And he pretty much tells her, look, Blueface's ex-girlfriend, his ex that he was with, she pretty much stayed out of the picture and let him do his thing. And Chrisean tells him, look, you're not my daddy. You're not my daddy. And I really get both sides. I get, it's like, yo, dude, I don't know who you're talking to. If he would have came at it a little bit different, I think he maybe would have gotten a different response out of her, or maybe more understanding. But he came in so hot, it was probably hard for Chrisean to really even hear what he was saying. But like I said, he does have a point, and while I'm sure it hurts Blueface's career from what he's dealing with Chrisean, it helps it too. Let's just be real. It helps their career because it keeps them in the headlines. It may be bad press, but what do they say? All press is good press. And if we're gonna be real, let's just be real about something. It almost sounds like Whack 100, the manager, is salty. I feel like he's salty because he kept telling Chrisean, your career is up here. It's going up. It's going up. But his is going down. How is that Chrisean's fault, though? How is it her fault that his music is not sticking like grits? That's not her problem. Just because her star is rising during all of this commotion and all this social media bullshit and drama, and his star isn't still here and not up here with her, why is that her problem? Y'all are getting mad. Blueface's team is getting mad that Chrisean is getting all this fame, getting this attention, and his music's not doing anything. That's not her problem. If he had songs that was sticking, that was hitting in the clubs, they would be playing in the clubs, regardless of who he was dating, regardless of the drama that he and Chrisean constantly put on in the blogs every day. His music will be doing something. So it comes off like this manager is jealous in a way. I don't want to say that for fact, but I just don't think that their fights, their arguments, their toxic relationship is ruining Blueface's career. In what way? Unless giving Uncle the benefit of the doubt, unless there are certain organizations and people saying, hey, look, we don't want to deal with him because of domestic violence situations, what comes with them. I could see that. So we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. I could see that much if there's something there that's causing him to lose bookings. But if we're speaking of music, y'all all know we ain't heard a song from Blueface since Bust Down Tatiana, Bust Down Tatiana. Let me not sing too much of that so I don't get copyright violations or whatever. But y'all know what's understood and gotta be explained. Y'all know. So anyway, Chrisean and the uncle, the manager, they ultimately end up hugging it out. It seems like that they've got a, somewhat good of a relationship or rapport with one another. It's not just like he's some random manager that's coming in and cussing at her. It seems like, things are good between them. That's the end of the episode. We get a sneak peek of next week's episode, where it looks like there's some physical altercations amongst Blueface. And I don't know who the guy is, but there's a guy there with his mother. We see him and his mother have some conversations next episode. Anyway, make sure you guys join the conversation and comment below and let me know what you thought of this episode. What do you think about the whole drama between Blueface and Chrisean and them getting in this physical altercation to where we see a gash in his head and blood on her hand and black eyes and bruises. How do y'all feel about that? Is it hard for you to watch as a viewer? Do you feel like Zeus is going too far with showing this on TV? Also, what did you think about the uncle telling Chrisean that, yo, you need to fall back in Blueface's life? You're affecting his career. Do you think that Blueface is affecting Chrisean, or do you think Chrisean is affecting Blueface's career? Do y'all think that? I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode, what you would rate the episode, and yeah. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. There's a button right below this video. Make sure you hit it. I would appreciate the support so much. Also, hit the thumbs up button right below this video. Like the video, because that's going to share it out throughout the YouTube community to where more people can find us. They can find this video and they can join us. They can come join the squad. I appreciate your love and support, and check out my other videos that I've got. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.